Welcome to From Center Ice. I am Beck, and it is officially time to stop grieving the loss in the playoffs for the Blackhawks and move on, think about the offseason, and then, of course, the 2020-21 season, or the 2021 season, because who knows when it's actually going to start. The newest rumor is that they will start around January 1st, but who really knows, right? With that being said, going off of the trend of the videos I was making for the playoffs, I have 3 questions for the 2020 offseason for the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, you knew who I was talking about, right? Question 1. What positions are you going to draft? This is question number 1 because it is going to be the first question answered, seeing as the draft starts tonight in about 4 hours. Their first round pick is number 17, and usually in the first round they say draft the best player available, and while I agree with that, there are certainly some holes in the pipeline for the Hawks that really need addressing. First of all, goaltending. We do have some solid options in net, but I don't know if they are solid options for an NHL roster or if they are just good for the Ice Hogs over here. Now, the top-rated goalie prospect is probably being taken off the board before number 17. I cannot see Askarov dropping to the Blackhawks. It would take an October miracle. That's right, the draft is in October this year. It's still really weird to me, but if the October Halloween usual start of the NHL season gods wish to grace us with a miracle, we could get Askarov at number 17. I don't see it happening. And originally I had wanted the Hawks to go for a defenseman because, you know, watching this team, that defense is a big hole on the NHL roster. That being said, I have been talked into wanting the Blackhawks to take a forward. We have a bunch of defensemen coming up through the pipeline, and if we draft more, we're just going to have to trade some of these guys away. So unless there is an absolute stud of a defenseman left at number 17, which we probably wouldn't even know for a few years anyway, the Blackhawks need to draft a forward with this pick because our forward cupboard is looking a little bare and a little sad. But that is only round number 1. We have 1 pick in the second round. It is not our pick, it is the Pittsburgh Penguins pick. And that one is sitting at number 46 overall, which is only 2 ahead of where we would originally be drafting at 48th overall in the second round. So it's not that big of a jump, but we do not have our own pick in the second, we have Pittsburgh's. In round number 3, we have 2 picks. So if our scouting and our GM can hit on 2 guys in the third round, that would be awesome. There are definitely great players that you can find outside of the first round. Obviously, every year you see it that there's gems that come out of later rounds. And so if the Hawks can nail these 2 picks in the third, that would be amazing. We have our own pick and Calgary's pick. We have our own draft picks in rounds 4 through 6, and we do not have a 7th this year. So overall, we do have 7 draft picks so far. Trades can happen the day of the draft, being today or tomorrow, which is rounds 2 through 7. We have 2 third-round picks instead of a 7th, so hey, that's an improvement there already. I would like to see them take at least 1 defenseman, hoping for 2, and then, of course, always try to pick a goaltender in the later rounds. You never know what could hit. Question 2. Will you be re-signing your current free agents? This is likely the second question that is going to be answered. I didn't really mean to put these in chronological order except for the first one, but that's just how it kind of worked out. The guys who are currently on the Blackhawks roster who are supposed to become free agents on Friday, October 9th, instead of July 1st. Still weird. Drake Caggiula, Dylan Strome, Dominic Kubalik, who they did tender a qualifying offer to today, Malcolm Subban, Alexander Fortin, Anton Vadin, who is likely not coming back. He signed a contract over in Europe, Joseph Cramarosa, Jacob Nielsen, who also signed a contract over in Europe, as well as Joni Tulala, and TJ Brennan and Ian McCoshen. Am I missing anybody? Oh yeah, there's kind of a big name on there that needs to be re-signed. Corey Crawford is expected to become a unrestricted free agent on Friday. Of course, the Blackhawks and Crawford's camp still have a few days to work out a contract before he is officially a free agent. But this is kind of driving my brain a little crazy. I will have a whole podcast episode devoted to goaltending that is going up later today. You can check that out over on the podcast playlist, or if you would just prefer to stream, you can listen to that wherever you stream your podcasts. The YouTube version is only audio, so you won't be missing out on anything there. Did I say Slater Cuckoo? I feel like I missed Cuckoo. If not, Slater Cuckoo is also a restricted free agent. The players that I could see the Blackhawks most likely resigning would be Kujula, Kubalik. I hope Slater Cuckoo. I feel like he put up a really good showing in the playoffs this year. Subban is an interesting case as well. I could see them letting go of Alexander Fortin, Anton Vadin. As I said, he already signed another contract. Jacob Nielsen and Joseph Cramarosa are likely gone. TJ Brennan is likely gone. I would like to see them re-sign Ian McCoshen. I'm not sure how realistic that is. I feel like he was a great player for the Rockford IceHogs this past season. He brought a leadership aspect to that blue line that I really enjoyed, although the IceHogs did re-sign Cody Franzen to a deal to bring that veteran leadership in. I would love to have both of these guys on the blue line in Rockford, but I don't know how realistic that is, going back to us having that deep prospect pool on defense. In an ideal world, I would love to see them offer a contract to Joni Tuulula. I don't know how realistic that is either, since he has signed a contract over in Europe as well. I thought he was the most improved defenseman on the blue line for the IceHogs, and I would have loved to see him get a shot on the Blackhawks roster. That didn't happen for any great length of time, so I'm sure that's why he kind of bolted back over to Europe. But in my heart of hearts, I am hoping it is just because hockey is currently not being played here in the States and he wanted to get some conditioning in. That's still left to be seen. It could happen. It could not happen. I'm probably going to say it won't, but a girl can hope. I would like Strome to get a contract. I don't know that I would go long-term on him, so that might not be something he is wanting to do. He is having a baby coming up here in the next few months, so he might want some security, and if he wants a longer term, that might not work out best for the Blackhawks, especially bringing Brandon Peary back into the fold. He is a center, so if they plan to play him up in the NHL, I don't know what's going to happen there. And we have signed a few free agents from Europe as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Blackhawks roster shakes out. And of course, the big name, Corey Crawford. You already know that I really hope they re-sign him. That's all I got for that one. Question 3. Will the defense and grittiness be addressed in free agency? Now, I'm not a huge fan of using the word grit as something you need to go out and find, but we know that if you want to do anything in the playoffs, you need to be a team that is hard to play against. Now, that doesn't mean going out and getting an enforcer, somebody who's just going to punch faces. And it doesn't necessarily mean size. Obviously, size is good, and it is helpful if somebody who is wielding that size can also move their feet. But they don't have to be huge. You've seen guys be quote-unquote gritty and effective in Andrew Shaw and Drake Kujula, both not the biggest guys, but they play pretty big out there on the ice. So that is what I mean when I say the word grit. It is overused in the hockey world, so I figured I would use it because it seems to just be a universal term for that type of player. Hitting on the second point, will the defense be addressed? And I know I've said we have a bunch of young guys and our prospect pool is deep on defense, but you also need guys who are proven NHL players. And since we traded away Olli Mata, we have one fewer of those. The guys with the most experience on our back end are Duncan Keith, Calvin DeHaan, and Connor Murphy. We also have Brent Seabrook's contract. It will be interesting to see what happens with that. Other than those guys, we have Adam Boquist. Slater Cuckoo is a restricted free agent, so if they do re-sign him, we will have him. And then there's Ian Mitchell coming out of college, and then the laundry list of defensive prospects that we have. So that is 3 guys with an asterisk being 4, including Seabrook, who are 27 and older. Obviously, you don't have to be above the age of 27 to have that necessary experience, but I would like to see at least one defensive ad in free agency. It doesn't even have to be a big name. God knows we don't have the cap space for a big ad, but somebody who is effective in their role and won't be a hindrance on the ice. The defense was the weakest spot for the 2019-2020 Chicago Blackhawks, so they need to do something to address this. Obviously, the younger guys did get good experience going into the play-in round and into the playoffs, but it's good to have guys with a little more experience back there who can coach the younger guys into making that transition. So those are the 3 questions that I have right now. We will have 2 of those answered within the next coming days, so it'll be very interesting to see where it goes from there. I do plan on making a video after the draft, so keep your eye out for that. And like I mentioned before, I will have a goaltending podcast going up later today here on YouTube and across all podcast streaming services. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let's hope for chaos at the draft tonight. Maybe some big trades will go down, something super exciting. Maybe not for the Blackhawks. I don't know if I would trust them to make a big trade at the draft, but I like to see other teams do crazy stuff. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you liked this video. Of course, hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button to catch more From Center Ice content. If you could, hit the like button on this video, maybe share it with a friend or 2. And while you're here, check out the podcast playlist and catch up on some old episodes. We will catch y'all next time. Bye!